Okay. In this video, we're going to discuss the United States Constitution. For those of you who are unaware, let me preface this with a little bit of education, that the U.S. Constitution is the basis for all federal law in the United States. That means it's the basis for every law in the country. Each individual state has its own rights. They can offer you more rights than the Constitution gives you, but they cannot offer you less. Now, with that in mind, I'm not sure exactly how many of you have read the U.S. Constitution or are aware of even what's in it. So, today we are going to discuss a specific amendment that has been on my mind for quite a long time, and that is the 13th Amendment. The 13th Amendment is the amendment that abolishes slavery. Now, let's take a moment, and I'm going to read to you the 13th Amendment, because there's an app for that. So, let's get out my iPod and go to the 13th Amendment. Neither slavery nor involuntary servitude except... Now we need to pause right there. Except... Why is there an exception to that rule? Why would there be an exception to the rule of abolishing slavery? Let's continue. Let's start over and continue. Neither slavery nor involuntary servitude except as a punishment for crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted shall exist within the United States or any place subject to their jurisdiction. Congress shall have the power to enforce this article by appropriate legislation. Now, armed with that knowledge, that there is an exception to that rule, it is my opinion, and let me know if you disagree. It is my opinion, and it says it right here, that slavery never ended. Never stopped. It just changed forms. Again, armed with that knowledge, is it any wonder why there are such a disproportionate number of African Americans in prison than white Americans? Let's give you some statistics. And you can look these up for yourself, because it didn't take me more than 10 minutes of research online. So if you're viewing this video, I know you have the internet. Go to the website yourself. Okay, so now let's go into actual statistics. And these statistics are very verifiable by simply going to the websites. BOP.gov, Bureau of Prisons, and Census.gov for the total overall population. Again, we are only focusing on black and white because those are the two largest demographic racial groups in this country, and also given the history of racial inequality in this country and the conversation that needs to be had right now given recent events in this country. So, here go the numbers. Total population of white Americans in this country right now, and these are all percentage based. 78.4% of all the people in this country are white. Now, population of white Americans in prison, 59.2%. Now let's go to the black side. Total population of black Americans in this country is 13.7%. However, the population of blacks in prison is 37.4%. Now, we could argue if you actually believe that black Americans commit more crimes than white Americans, that's on you. I don't think anybody else believes that. Statistically, the number of people in prison, the number of criminals in prison, should match or be at least close to the overall population. So, and we're going to do rounding now. About 80% of the people in this country are white, but only 60% of the prisoners in this country are white. About 15% of the people in this country are black, but about 40% of the prison population is black. Those are very wide discrepancies. So, after having read the Constitution and realizing that slavery never ended, it only changed forms, is there any wonder, is there any question now why there is such a large discrepancy? It's because they planned it that way. So, it is my belief that we need an amendment to that amendment. Thank you. One final note on this topic. Let's discuss the state of Mississippi. From this Constitution, in the notes, it says, the amendment was rejected by Mississippi December 4th, 1865, and then ratified on March 16th, 1995. It remained unofficial until finally submitted to the Archivist of the United States in February 2013. So, a little torn on this. Given what I've just discussed, should I be ashamed or proud of Mississippi that it didn't accept or acknowledge the 13th Amendment until just last year? Think about that for a minute, because reading is fundamental.